All right, I'm just gonna start. I don't know if this is working or not. I've been trying to see if this is working. Okay, so here's what happened. So I was sick for the past 4 days. So I've been sick for a very, very long time. Oh, it's working. Okay, cool. Just making sure because this has been bad, man. Okay, so essentially what had happened was we streamed on Monday, and then Tuesday I got the flu or COVID. I'm not sure. It was a mixture of both because I was out for the count. Like I was KO'd. There was nothing left, and so I've been out since like Friday. But I usually make all my videos on Sunday and Monday. So basically all my videos were for like Tuesday through Thursday. I had already made. So it made things a little bit easier, and it was easier for me to handle that kind of thing because I was already ahead. So it made things a little bit easier. But at the same time, what also happened was my computer, my main drive, it was I had to wipe it essentially. So basically it got encrypted and I had to wipe it. But all my other data was fine, so I just had to restore it back. So in doing so, it made it so that all of my settings for OBS had been deleted. So now I had to recreate it. So I do apologize if some of this stuff doesn't work. It's not what it used to be. So it's probably better now, but we'll see. I've been working with it for the past few days, so if it's bad, I do apologize. It will not be this way in the future, but as of right now, we'll see. So do have a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of things going on here. I do want to go over a few trailers that just came out in the past few days that I missed while I was out. GeForce Now, we want to talk about that. I haven't talked about GeForce Now in like 3 years. Destiny 2, haven't talked about that in like 3 years. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, as well as DLSS 4.0, which we talked about on Monday. And then Dragonkin, The Banished, which sounds pretty cool. Atomfall, Wuthering Waves, and of course Path of Exile 2, and an update on my my tank, who is he's doing very well. Alrighty, but first let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, so the very first up video, why would I start off with GeForce Now? I don't want to start with that. I kind of wanted to mix it up so it's not like just game, you know what I mean? So we'll start with we'll start with Destiny 2. They still exist. I don't know why. Let it go, Elsa, but let's take a look at it.
This place grows like a tumor on reality. Be vigilant, Slayer Baron. The final kill will soon be decided. Now, a new age comes.
This gotta be an April Fool's joke. I'm assuming it's an April Fool's joke. Okay, it's a 1080p and it's an April Fool's joke. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I had hoped that I don't know, man. It's been a while since I played Destiny 2, and I thought that they were kind of done with it, but apparently not. So apparently they have a new trailer and a new expansion coming out, Revenant Act 3. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, you know, good for Destiny. I don't know. I don't know where I am with Destiny. I stopped playing a couple of years back. So once I got like max level at the time, I had 2 Titans. I do that a lot. Like when it comes to like my main characters, I always do 2 of the same type of character. Like I just want to learn how to play like one play style. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of switch to others. But yeah, I had 2 Titans. I used to have 2 Paladins, so on and so forth. I will probably eventually have 2 Titans again. That's kind of just how I roll with things. And so yeah, I mean, Destiny 2, I don't know, modularly excited. I don't know what to say on that, but yeah, it's a thing. Good for Destiny. Alrighty. Next up, GeForce Now official Steam Deck full support announcement. Well, that's interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. That's a Steam Deck for sure. Okay, nobody knows what that meant, but I can explain it. All right, so Steam Deck, or well, not Steam Deck, but GeForce Now, essentially they have this thing where it's basically a cloud platform where you can basically rent someone's graphics card essentially, but it's basically Nvidia's graphics cards, and they basically give you the game that you just stream. So you basically stream the game, and that generally introduces a ton of latency, but at the same time you're able to actually, you know, play whatever game that you're trying to play at the settings that you currently don't have, you know, with your rig. Or this is very useful for people who have like dorms and stuff like that, who can't bring their computer with them. It's very useful for them, or if they have like a laptop that doesn't have a graphics card, things of that nature. So basically you log in to GeForce Now, and you know, there's a timer on when you can access games. Like it's not just always instant access, but essentially you're allowed to play games like Cyberpunk or any other game that they have available. And now what they're saying is they also allow you to use the Steam Deck. And so the Steam Deck's graphics aren't exactly the best. Nobody gave them an award for it, you know what I mean? But you can use your Steam Deck now and stream GeForce Now. There's integration between the two, which is really great, because basically now the Steam Deck doesn't have to use its internal GPU. It can just use the graphics card from wherever and then just stream that. Granted, you're streaming a game on a console that's Wi-Fi. Please bear that in mind. You are literally streaming Wi-Fi. Not exactly the best experience if you're already dealing with latency, right? Because whenever I play GeForce Now, my latency was like 60 something in that area, but I was wired. So you're also wireless, so you're kind of compounding things. So I would say if you are gonna play on a Stream Deck, I would go ahead and put it on a dock and then plug an Ethernet cable into it, just so you can limit the amount of latency that you get. Because if without it, it's just you're adding too much latency even before you start playing the game, and it may be a little bit too much for you to actually have an enjoyable experience. But overall, it's really cool. However, there is the second caveat. it's 540p. So your resolution screen is 540p. This will be way better on ROG Ally, Aya Neo 2, so on and so forth. Any of those guys have 1080p screens and usually 120 frames per second, and then you can really utilize the power of GeForce Now. But the fact that it is coming to Steam Deck is a boon. Granted, GeForce Now would work on them anyway, because those are actual full operating systems. It was only the Steam Deck that didn't have the ability. So now it does. So for those of you who are Steam Deck lovers, diehard fans, here you go. So yeah, I'm happy for them. I'm happy that Steam Deck has that ability. That way it doesn't just utilize its GPU and just, get tortured. Because you're not running Cyberpunk 27 on a Steam Deck. You run it at 15 frames per second, bro. So, it's one of those kind of situations. But hey, I'm down for it. Alrighty, next up is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth official PC features trailer. You know what? You know what? Let me make this dark because this doesn't look right. Because I've been making some changes, man. Look at this. I know it look good. Okay, let's unmute it. Let's take a look.
I wish I could go on trips all over the world like you guys.
Sephiroth? What?
Trips? I think you mean business trips, which are no fun at all.
I'm so confused.
Learn stuff on them.
Hey, Red.
Just you wait.
I don't remember her singing there, but okay.
Final sequence, begin.
Did I? Nah, I couldn't have dreamt that. It all felt way too real.
Okay, first off, that looked awesome, but we'll talk about this real quick, and then I have to make a change because apparently my Twitch isn't working properly. Twitch, I thought it was working because I was looking at it, and it looked like it was okay, but apparently it is not, because it is not updating at all. Yeah, it's just stuck on start. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that looked absolutely beautiful. This is probably one of the reasons why I played Final Fantasy just throughout history, because it's gorgeous, you know what I mean? And plus, I really liked RPGs to begin with, you know what I mean? Final Fantasy has always been one of those great RPGs that I really, really enjoyed. And Final Fantasy VII was also really good. Seeing Sephiroth walk with Cloud, I mean, I've never seen that in my life, but at the same time, it was a really good game. But I'm guessing Rebirth is kind of like a different telling. Well, okay, I'm going by the comments from when I did the previous one when they came out, and they were saying that this is like a re-release, like a reboot. And if that's the case, then okay, I got you. Because Sephiroth Okay, I guess maybe it's okay. I don't want to tell the reason why I'm hesitating because I don't want to tell the story, right? But I don't know exactly what will happen with them if this is going to be like a retelling or a reboot. So if it's a reboot, then it may be a little different. But seeing them two together is weird. So seeing the co people alive is weird. Like a lot of stuff happened, bro. But I don't think I'm telling like anything if I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII, bro. That's like 25 years ago. If you haven't played the game now, you're not gonna play it. So you know what I mean. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I'm excited about it. I mean, I haven't played an RPG in a long time that wasn't like Diablo 4 or Path of Exile 2 or Hawkeye Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, so on and so forth. I don't really consider those. I consider those gachas or MMOs or action RPGs. So I haven't played a true, dedicated Final Fantasy type RPG since like Last of Us? No. It's since I don't know, it's been a while. I can't even remember the last RPG that I played. It's been a minute. Probably something in the not Kingdom Hearts. It might have been Kingdom Hearts, but Dragon Age, something in Dragon Age. I guess Dragon Age, but I didn't ever finish Dragon Age. So I don't know. It's been a minute. But in any event, I'm going away from the subject. This looks absolutely awesome. It always looks awesome, especially if it's going to be on the PS5, which of course it is. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming to a theater near you very, very soon. Let's take a look at it. When did it say? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is launching on PC January 23rd, with the game being available now for PlayStation 5. So it's already available for the PlayStation 5 and available elsewhere January 23rd. Alrighty, if y'all just give me one quick second here. It appears that my Twitch has been having a problem. Well, it says it has, but I don't know. It literally, yeah, I guess Twitch is having. Okay, so give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can fix Twitch real quick. Okay, yeah, so it's just showing a black screen on Twitch. So if it's showing a black screen on Twitch, but my stats say everything is perfectly fine, then that is not me personally. It is my settings. So let me go ahead and fix my Twitch settings here and see if this will help. I don't see anything wrong with it whenever I was working with it, but I could be wrong. Let me close that up and let me open this up. And output Twitch server, fix that. It did. Okay, so that's probably right. So give me one quick second here. I just want to make sure I know that is enough bitrate. I have used that plenty of times before and it has not been a problem. High quality, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've used NVENC before with them, so I'm not exactly sure why I would trip out over that. You know what? Let's use AV1. Maybe that'll help it. And do 5600. Sorry, give me 1 second here. 5600, 0 high quality, blah, 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 blah. All right, yeah, this looks good. Split encode, auto, keyframes, 2, multipass, quarter resolution. Yeah, this is fine. All right, let's see if that works. All right, let's give it a second here and let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on with Twitch. I was having problems with it earlier. I think Twitch was my primary, and because I turned YouTube into my primary, it's been having problems ever since. Like it's mad at me, like it wants to talk it out. And I've been like, man, look, you just gonna have to let things go. And Twitch has been like, no, I'm not letting things go. You let things go. Okay, so me changing it to that did not do anything, it appears, because it still doesn't work. So give me 1 quick second here. Let me undo that. Okay, so not AV1. Does not like that. Okay, cool. I can live with that. So, okay, HEVC, will that work with you? Will you be okay with HEVC? I know a lot of people who use it. It should work with this. We'll just do P6 high quality, quarter main, 2 the split in that's different. But if you add that with audio, and audio's only at 128. So I mean it's not like I had it at like something crazy. So here, let me try that. Alrighty. Let me see here. Sorry, this is taking so long. This shouldn't have taken any time, but whenever you got everything set back up. It's kind of, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And this is a doesn't for sure. This thing is mad. And I'm not exactly even sure why. Like it's not taking anything I do. So I'm about to call it and just leave it alone and just keep on going. So I do apologize. I'm almost done here. Let me just try this one last thing and then I'll just call it a day. Because this thing is not wanting to work for me at all. 0, high quality, sure, slow, sure, whatever. V6. All right. And this was already on. Did it turn itself on? No. So we'll just, I don't think that it likes YouTube. I think that may be what it is. And YouTube, okay, YouTube can actually stream at a higher bit rate than Twitch, which is why Twitch was my primary previously, but I thought YouTube was. So Kick didn't have a problem with it. Kick was like, sure, whatever, bro. Like, I don't care. But it appears that this one is working now. Hey, it's working. There we go. Oh, that only ate up quite a bit of our time, but okay, I'm sorry about that. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a thing coming out January 23rd in a theater near you, but I do apologize for that. So let's go ahead and keep moving. Alrighty, next up. Oh, why is it still? Oh, okay. Dark theme. Okay. Alrighty, there we go. I'm trying not to blind people. Alrighty, so next up here we have Dragonkin: The Banished official early access release date trailer. Let's take a look at it and see what's going on.
Before our time, the dragons were banished underground, leaving scars of fear in the history of humankind. Then, one day, Sariknog opened a breach. Humanity, at the cost of thousands of lives, sent Sariknog back into darkness. But you must stop his return. Confront your destiny. Hunt down the dragon's minions.
Did he just cyclone?
Fulfill the prophecy and become the legendary hero you were born to be. And if you fail, death will sweep over the world once more.
Prophecies are merely words.
This is a, okay. I was so confused. I was like, the homie just leap slam into a cyclone? Like, what just happened here? Dragonkin: The Banished. Okay. Well, I mean, okay, is it Path of Exile 2? Let's just point out the elephant in the room. It looks very Path of Exile-y. I'm just saying, especially when you look at the tree. You look at the tree and it's just like, okay, this is this is Power World for Path of Exile. Path of Exile's Power World looks really good. Akin to Power World, it looks pretty good. I mean, from what I was seeing there, it reminds me of, you know, its predecessor. I don't even know what to say at this point. So I mean, it looks really good. The attacks, the AoE, I like the lightning. It reminds me of when I played a Magic Gladiator back in Mu Online. So that was pretty cool. And the leap slam to the cyclone is very good. And you can actually see the tree there. It's very complicated, which reminds me, well, okay. I don't want to say the word complicated because I think it turns people off when it comes to Path of Exile 2 or any other games that are in this ilk. It's not that it's complicated. It's just that it takes a lot to learn, right? It's not really all the way complicated. Like, you can kind of get into it. It's just that it's a lot that you can do. And then because there's a lot that you can do, you can go this way or this way or this way or pick this or pick that. And it changes your whole character, and your character's not the same as anyone else's character. So you never actually run into a situation where you both have the same class and y'all have the same stats. Like, it doesn't happen. So it's one of those kind of situations, and I think Dragonkin is going to take from that ilk, and you're going to have characters that have nothing to do with each other but be the same class. And so far, this looks really good. You know, I know I called it Power World, but that's actually a compliment because Power World was freaking awesome. Even though I never got a chance to actually play it, but as far as a predecessor of Pokemon, this being a predecessor of Path of Exile, it definitely fits in that genre and it looks really good. So hey, Dragonkin the Banished official early access release date trailer. Let's go. Let's see when this actually comes out. So let's see here. Take a look at the early access release date trailer for Dragonkin the Banished, a single-player hack-and-slash action-adventure game developed by Echo Software. Players will choose their own heroes and alter their skills using the unique ancestral grid mechanics to fight back against hordes of enemies as humanity hangs in the balance of calamity. Dragonkin the Banished is launching on March 6th for PC and Steam. So I was trying to go through that without laughing. I am so sorry, Dragonkin. It's just you look like somebody I once knew. You know what I mean? So yeah, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. So DLSS 4.0. So okay, cool. I can switch to the computer side of things, right? So, oh my goodness. Okay, I think it's because I didn't start them up that way and why they all are so bright, and it's kind of annoying. Oh, I'm sorry, and I chose it again. Appearance dark. Alrighty, there we go. And it's actually automatically starts the video. So you know what? We might as well just do them all. Might as well. Because that would be so much easier. Alrighty, hit pause on that bad boy. And device theme, dark theme. Alrighty, let it play its ad. And we'll go ahead and hit pause on this bad boy too. Does it have, oh, actually, you know what? Let's keep closed captioning on. Why not? That will help people. It makes me play the whole ad. Wow. That's sad. Sorry. Usually I have these all added out, but of course, when you turn it into a dark screen, it loses all that. So we'll just go ahead and play through that. But yeah, NVIDIA DLSS 4.0, there have been some changes, some updates to everything that happened on Monday that I wasn't privy to because I fell asleep. I couldn't, bro. Like, I had made like 4 videos that day and I was done. I was absolutely done. Plus I got sick. So it is what it is. But okay. DLSS 4.0. So we reviewed that. We talked about DLSS 4.0 and then also with the trailer. So let me see if I can actually pull that up. I am curious if this works, because if this works, this is going to be really cool. So let me go ahead and check it, because technically I did have to bring my computer back from the brink of death, but it came back with some really cool abilities. So I want to see if this one actually works. Okay, so let's go here and then there and then what was it called? NVIDIA? Oh my God, it's not sorted by date. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, there we go. So while I was making my video about CS 2024, sorry, I know y'all can hear that. So let me pause that. Let me mute that. And let me switch to, oh, I wonder what it's gonna do. Okay, I guess was the only one would find out. Yeah, alrighty. So, all right, cool. So I made a review about DLSS 4.0, but this was based off my knowledge of what was going on right then and there. Oh, I'm so excited. This is actually pretty cool. So with the DLSS 4.0, they have made some changes to AI to essentially make it so that instead of every other frame being frame generated, which is DLSS 3.0, basically they're making 3 additional frames on top of the original rendered frame. So essentially it's AI, real frame, AI, real frame kind of thing. So with DLSS 4.0, it's not exactly an upgrade. It's an upgrade to frame rate, but you're still stuck to the exact, let's say, FPS of the real screen, right? So let's say you have 30 frames per second real. And then you run DLSS 3.0 and it gives you 60, 90, 120 or whatever. So now you're at 120 frames per second because you've basically multiplied it by 3, essentially. So let's say you're really supposed to have 120 frames per second because you have DLSS 3.0. Well, it's not going to feel that way. It's going to feel like 30, right? Because that's what the real frame is. So DLSS is great when you are already at 100. You know what I mean? When you're already at 110, 115, you know what I mean? Where it's, you know, you just wanted to have a bit smoother gameplay, you know, and it already is above 60 or it's already above 100. That's when it kind of shows itself. But, you know, this isn't, you know, DLSS 4.0, I mean, I could be wrong because I don't know exactly what it's going to do and how it's going to change things, but I like DLSS. I've had it enabled on a lot of different things, on a lot of things, particularly Call of Duty. Any of these really intensive games, I usually have that enabled. And even though I run an RTX 4090, I still use it. So, I mean, I'm cool with it having that feature, but I'm also would rather just know how strong is it compared to a 4090 so we can just move on with our lives, right? I'm going to guess 10 to 15%. And that's just not as attractive as saying, oh, it's as good as a 4070. So it's one of those things, or I'm sorry, so it's as good as a 5070, that being the 4090. So that's a little bit more attractive because people will be like, what are you talking about? I paid $80,000 for this RTX 4090. What do you mean it's as good as a 5070 that's only $500? Like, I will shoot you now. So it's one of those things. And people getting upset about that. So I mean, obviously I don't mean like literally, but yeah, it's one of those kind of things that happen with it. So bear that in mind. But they did release another trailer about DLSS, and we can go ahead and take a look at that right now. Oh, that is kind of fancy. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty sweet. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and do that and start this, and let's take a look. I wouldn't be playing a game. I just be looking around, be like, I ain't even worried about the game. Like Senua, when it came out, I wasn't even playing the game. I was just looking around. Okay, for one, that looks really amazing. So I'm not gonna lie. So, I mean, but this is just RTX. That's not really talking about DLSS. This is talking about just turning on RTX. But RTX, of course, kills your frame rate. So I'm guessing they're trying to use DLSS to give you back the frame rate that you lost, which, you know, I mean, that is one way of going about it. But it, you know, I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. You know, I don't know. I think with me, okay, at what point does beauty and gameplay begin? You know what I mean? Like, I've played a lot of games that were absolutely beautiful, but it wasn't really because of how beautiful the graphics were. It was just because of the scenery that made it beautiful. You know what I mean? And so, like, you think about like Senua. Senua, when it first came out, the first one, because I haven't played the second one yet, but when it first came out, it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous, and the worlds were so weird and different. And so when I think about that, I think that it was beautiful, but it was beautiful on a 3060. Like, it was just a beautiful game in general. So, you know, it's something like this, and it's like, you're looking at it and it's like, okay, is it beautiful? It's absolutely gorgeous, right? But if the game is trash, it's not gonna matter. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how far are we gonna push that line? You know what I mean? Because now we're talking about AI in order to fix RTX, and turning on ray tracing, and it's like, I get that you're trying to make it more beautiful, but at what point should you just stop that and go for frame rate? You know, like true frame rate, like raw frame rate. So, you know, I don't know how many steps they're going to take past that line of beauty before they start stumbling over frame rate and true gameplay. You know what I mean? I think they're starting to stumble over themselves, because if you're talking about 3 frames, 4 frames, 5 frames in the future, and you're trying to guess it, why? You know what I mean? When you could have just made a card that is literally superior to everything. You know what I mean? So I think that it's still probably superior. It's just that I think that DLSS may be a little bit too much in the future, but, you know, we will see. I do like what they did to the marble, so you know that's a thing. But at the same time, you know, if the game is great, I'm gonna play it regardless. So I don't like, I'll play it on a Game Boy Advance. Like, bro, I don't care. Like, what are we doing? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about DLSS. I'm kind of a little torn about it because I like how good it is when it comes to frame rate, but I still notice, you know what I mean? It still doesn't feel as good as, you know, 120 frames per second playing like Overwatch with Moira. You know what I mean? Like that feels a certain type of way. And if it changes because DLSS is turned on, I notice it. You know what I mean? But yeah, DLSS 4.0, NVIDIA, let's go. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. This is Atomfall official gameplay of overview trailer. Wow, that is really hard to say.
If you've been waiting for a special occasion to break out your hazmat suit, then look no further than Atomfall. Here at Rebellion, we are excited to introduce you to this new world and what it has to offer. However, there's far more to Atomfall than what we can showcase in a single video. This is just a glimpse of what's to come. Atomfall is a brand new, single-player, first-person action survival game set in a post-war Britain. It will have you traversing the Lake District of Northern England, uncovering mysteries about the quarantine zone and the people that inhabit it.
My name's Molly. I got some bits and bobs for sale.
My name's Nat, by the way. Forgive me being curious of strangers.
Atomfall takes place in a fictional quarantine in 1962, just 5 years after the real-life event of the Windscale Fire, the worst nuclear disaster in British history. However, in this altered version of history, there are more mysterious and sinister things at play behind the scenes, and you must uncover the secrets of what happened. It's up to you to discover the truth behind the disaster and figure out just how much of this world can be saved.
It doesn't matter what else happened, as long as the truth of this place gets out.
Before you can set out on that quest, you'll awaken in the quarantine zone with little knowledge about who you are, the life you've lived, and certainly the strange new world around you. A rather nasty bout of amnesia.
You're not the first amnesiac I've seen since things went awry.
Are you a law-abiding citizen? A terrifying menace to those around you? Or are you perhaps someone just trying their best to survive in a dangerous, unfamiliar place? The choice is yours, and Atomfall gives you the freedom to embody any role. A village in one of the areas you will visit is controlled by a military group that was sent in to set up and maintain the quarantine after the disaster, a noble cause. But some might question the lengths they've gone to restore order.
I shouldn't be gossiping about this stuff.
Armed soldiers patrolling the roads of the village, robotic sentinels on a hair trigger, prepared to attack at even the slightest hint of aggression, and villagers who live in fear as a result.
Soldiers will string you up for anything these days, and my husband was exploring where they don't like you to explore.
Does this group really have the villagers' best interest at heart?
But step out of line,
No.
and I will revoke your liberties here just as quickly as they were given.
Outside of the village is a lawless land filled with bandits and cultists who don't care if you're friendly or not and will attack you on sight.
Be cautious.
There are so many things to consider on your journey through Atomfall. Exploration is a critical component of the experience, especially when it comes to your survival. The quarantine zone is in the idyllic countryside of northern England, but it is not as it once was. An abandoned rail yard, a derelict stone quarry, and verdant rolling hills contain more than just pieces of a prior civilization. As you explore these places, you'll find secret bandit hideouts, mysterious messages, secrets, clues, and leads that might help you figure out how the world fell apart. These can lead you to eccentric characters, secret hideaways, or even the rundown bunkers of the British Atomic Research Division. You'll never know when or where fragments of the bigger picture will be brought into focus, but you will always need to be on guard. These facilities may not be as populated as they once were. However, the halls are often patrolled by the same robots used to patrol the rest of the quarantine zone, as well as irradiated feral creatures.
that won't hesitate to tear you apart. You will also come across caves and underground tunnels that seem to have been affected by the Windscale disaster the most. Glowing plants and mushrooms cover the walls, floor and ceiling of these places, giving off a hazy fog that makes them more dangerous to traverse than other places you may go. However, the environment is not all you need to worry about. The same terrifying ferals found in the bunkers also live in these areas and will not stop to ask questions before trying to tear you apart. Be sure to be well equipped to handle these creatures and be extra cautious, as not everything is as it seems.
You're trapped in the quarantine zone around the Windscale atom plant.
How are you going to defend yourself against all these threats? You're going to need weapons, supplies, and materials, all of which you can find through scavenging the locations of Atomfall. However, if you truly want to survive, some things may need to be taken by force. The weapons you will come across include melee weapons, like the cricket bat, or ranged weapons, like pistols, rifles,
Think you're good with that thing?
Yes.
and shotguns, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. During your journey through Atomfall, you may even unlock the ability to upgrade your weapons and give them more power. The ammo for these weapons will be in short supply, so you must either find or craft what you need to survive. However, weapons are not the only thing you will need on your journey. You will gather resources, like cloth and alcohol, to craft various items, to heal yourself, or harm your enemies. Over time, you'll expand your crafting abilities to create more aggressive tools of self-protection. Other tools at your disposal include a flashlight to light the dark paths ahead, and a trusty metal detector to locate buried caches of supplies. A handy ping will alert you when one of these caches is nearby, signaling you to equip the metal detector and begin the hunt. When you aren't scavenging for materials or searching for buried treasure, you might also find various manuals that contain valuable knowledge. These manuals will imbue your character with new skills across 4 categories: ranged combat, melee combat, survival, and conditioning. Even at the end of the world, knowledge is power. Careful selection of which skills you focus on will determine your playstyle and the path you carve out for yourself in Atomfall. We won't be going fully in depth on these skills and what each one entails right now, but as you progress, you will need to pick and choose what type of playstyle you want to focus on in Atomfall.
I really should stop talking. No personal, but you can't trust anyone too much these days, can you?
We hope you enjoyed the first glimpse into the world of Atomfall. Leave a comment with what you are most excited to see when the game releases on March 27th, 2025. Atomfall will be releasing day 1 on Game Pass, Xbox Series, and Xbox One consoles. You can also play on PC through Windows, Steam, and Epic Games, as well as PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Stay tuned for an upcoming video that will deep into some of the gameplay mechanics we mentioned here. This is going to be a game you don't want to miss out on.
I tried to stop it. I tried so hard to stop that. I knew it was coming and I was trying to stop it, but she was still going. Her voice is amazing, by the way. But okay. I don't know. Okay. First off, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of like Fable and also The Last of Us. It reminds me exactly of Last of Us. And I'm okay. When I was playing Last of Us and Last of Us 2 and any of these games in that ilk, I never liked only having 6 bullets. You know what I mean? Like, you have 3 bullets and 87 mobs coming after you. What do? You know what I mean? I don't really like that. But at the same time, you know, I did like the playstyle. You know what I mean? It was very single player-esque. You know what I mean? Where you're kind of going at it alone and trying to do your best in order to uncover the truths of what happened in this particular world. And it looks really, really good. So I'm kind of excited for it. It looks very, very akin to, you know, the kind of games that you would see with this kind of that grungy post-apocalyptic feel. It has that look going for it. And yeah, also I thought of this when she was talking the entire time. Not that that was a bad thing. I just said I thought that this would be great in VR. It comes to everything but VR, but this would be this would be so awesome in virtual reality. Though I don't know if you want to execute somebody like that in virtual reality. It doesn't sound very good, but and it looks like it's something that can be literally taken over into a VR game. So I would be excited to see something like that, kind of like how Resident Evil was. You know what I mean? Where it's like great in VR. So yeah, I mean, Atomfall official gameplay overview trailer comes out March 23rd. I'm excited for it. It looks really good. It's very akin to, you know, your Fallouts and all that kind of thing. So yeah, there we go. Atomfall, everyone. Alrighty, and the last up for today is going to be Wuthering Waves official Opal and Cat's Eye story cinematic trailer.
Everyone, capture them!
Time to leave.
Copy.
Aww.
Fall for me, will you?
Sure.
Then, let's fall together.
Everyone, capture them!
Time to leave.
They just show the same thing twice? Yes, they did. Okay. Girl, what's going on there? I love it so much. Watch it twice. Okay, whatever. All right, I'll let them have that. But okay, so Wuthering Waves, Opal, I'm guessing is the newest character. It's been a while. This is kind of like my old flame before Path of Exile took my life away. But this I mean, Wuthering Waves, I don't even know what I want to say about Wuthering Waves at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I really enjoy Wuthering Waves, but you made it you kind of made it so that I don't need to spend money. Everybody's good. Like everybody's good, bro. Like literally everyone's good. And then the person who was bad, they replaced it with a character who's excellent. So it's like, you know, everybody's good. The game is hard. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't see a need to pull for some of these characters. Like, okay, think back to Genshin Impact. All right. It was Venti. Okay, Venti was very good and he had a pull effect, right? But he was wind. So because he was wind, he really couldn't interact with a whole lot of different things because like you wouldn't take him against fire if you're trying to fight fire, right? Because he's not going to interact with it. He's basically just going to make them do half damage because he's not going to do a lot of damage to him because he doesn't do a lot of damage in and of himself. So you needed water. So then comes Mona and basically Shinsho. So then, okay, all right, Diluc. Okay, Diluc was the main event fire person, but he was melee. He had no range, and then he started running into people who would make it so that he couldn't just deal a whole lot of damage to him because they have shields and they keep knocking him around, stuff like that. Okay. What about Klee? Okay, Klee was also really good, and she was like a bombardier, so she can get past shields that Diluc was having problems with because she can kind of fire from range. But Klee was clunky. So and then okay. Then Ganyu. Okay, Ganyu was really good. Ganyu was probably one of the best DPSers of her time when she first came out, and she had like a nice arrow. But the problem with Ganyu is that she doesn't actually get good until her Constellation 6. And her Constellation 6 is what made her good because she can fire, flip back kind of thing. And that made her a really good character. And so when you start thinking about it, like everybody had really true weaknesses. You know what I mean? But in Wuthering Waves, that's not the case here. All characters are good at Constellation 1, and you can get their weapon automatically if you pull, you know, like 50, 60, 70 or whatever, but there's no chance to not get their weapon, right? So they're all good. So you don't really run into a situation where it's like, okay, I know people that can beat the game with Dungeon. You know what I mean? Like that chick will destroy everything with one hit point. Like it's ridiculous. So I think that it was an awesome game, and I'll probably go back to playing it, but at the same time, there's nothing for me there. You know what I mean? There's nothing that's pulling me there. All my characters are really, really strong, but they were strong cheap. You know what I mean? Whereas Genshin Impact, they were strong, expensive, and that's what kept me in the game. Sunk cost fallacy kept me in Genshin Impact, and there's no sunk cost fallacy in Wuthering Waves because you don't need to spend money in Wuthering Waves in order to actually be good. And which is crazy that an addiction is the reason why I suck with Genshin Impact, but it's not the reason why I suck with Wuthering Waves. So that's a very interesting take, but I think that that one is right when it comes to Wuthering Waves. Love the game, but no sunk cost fallacy here. So, you know, it is fallacy for a reason, I guess. Alrighty. So, dang, that hurt me to my soul saying that. But okay, so let me see if I can find the video again. Basically, we're going to be talking about Path of Exile and kind of where my warrior is, and a warrior or a Titan. I guess he is a warrior, but just kind of where he is and a lot of things that have happened. Let me see if I find the right video. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here. I think it is this one. I could be wrong. So it's been a while, but let's see. Okay, clearly it's not that. So give me 1 second here. Let me just find it real quick. It was, how long is this video? 5.53 gigs. Maybe. I don't think this is it though. Oh, well, maybe it is. All right. So I've made a lot of changes with him. I think he is kind of reaching his final form, and now I can actually fight bosses. So my problem with him outside of everything else that's happened is that he was always really bad against bossing. Like bossing was just terrible for him. But now bossing is so much better and he can actually do a lot. Okay, well, he just got almost wrecked. Okay, there's a few things I want to talk about here. Okay, one, he hit him for 3 million damage. So let's start with that. But the second part is, if you look at what happened here, this is literally what I was looking for. So actually I can probably unmute this because I think this is legit. Sometimes I play things in the background. I didn't want it to play because it might be playing like another video or something like that, but I think this is legit. All right, yeah, it is. Okay. So, all right, so if we go back a little bit here and that hit that I took. So basically I was trying to deal as much damage to him as humanly possible and try to get off a Sunder in his face. So with Trial Master, he has a ton of health. And he hit me so freaking hard. And what I like about him now is, okay, my defense, my defense is like 47%, bro. Like my armor is, but at the same time, I have a really high energy shield, and I would get one shot by this hit every single time because I just didn't have enough health. Like I would have like 4,400 or 4,500 health somewhere in that area, and he'd still one shot me. And just let's take a look at it. This hit, it took 2,555 of my energy shield, and it took 2636 400, or I'm sorry, 2400-ish, 2636. Yeah. So I say about 2400 plus 2500. So it took about 4900 health, period. That's what that hit was. It was 5,000 health. And if you didn't have 5,000 health, you're just dead. So that's what I like about him now. He just tanked a 5,000 damage hit to the face, and he chilling like, where my shield go? like did he just take my shield, bro? Like that's what he's turned into, and that I really like. So that is his defense right there, and then his hammer took care of his offense. And so now my hammer is hitting like an absolute truck. My hammer is now running Aftershock. He can do quite a bit with that. And he is just turned into just one of the best characters I've ever had. He has melee, he has range, he can AoE you, he can come with it. Now, the reason why I did that is because, okay, the teleport out of it is so freaking sick. That is probably one of the coolest things ever right there, right? So I was trying to get him to hit the Devastate because that's just ridiculous. So hit him for another 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. And if he didn't teleport out, he would have died. It would have been over. Alrighty, so let's just talk about it because there was a lot of stuff that was going on here. So, okay, I think it was right here. All right, cool. So you could actually see the evolution of his skill set, right? Because at first, Okay, one here, I went for the Stampede over the Sunder because the Sunder would have kept hitting. My Sunder runs after, was it Aftershocks or was it, you know, the one that can go 30%, 20%, 10%. So it can hit like 8 times. So I didn't want the Sunder to be what breaks him because my Sunder doesn't have Devastate. So I won't have the armor break. So I needed to hit him with Stampede because Stampede has the armor break. Does that make sense? So that's the reason. So with this here, that's why I'm trying to Stampede him instead of trying to do a Sunder because he was very, very close to breaking here. And so, and that right there is the main reason why you run teleport on your tank. That hit right there, like you wouldn't even be able to roll out of that, bro. Like you would have got hit no matter what. And now he can just teleport like nothing happened. It's so good, bro. It's so good. And then hit him with the Stampede. And then I can hit him with a Stampede one more time and then shatter him. And now he's fully broken. Now that he's fully broken, I can erase him. So hit him with the Sunder. And now here's the thing about my Sunder. My Sunder, because I put Brutality and I put Heft, all the really good ones, Heavy Swing, Brutality, Heft, and Heavy Swing particularly, I moved those to Hammer of the Gods because I wanted my Hammer of the Gods to hit like really, really hard, because Sunder doesn't actually hit hard until you actually break the armor. Outside of that, it hits okay. You know what I mean? So all of my heavy hitting comes from my actual Hammer of the Gods, but Sunder can still auto crit. It still has critical damage plus or critical damage, the jewel that makes it so that it deals like 300% critical hit damage. So it still does really, really good damage. Plus it has bleed, plus it has ignite. It has all these things that can keep dotting you down. So now I turned my Sunder into instead of it being my main skill, because that was getting me murdered. Because I mean, the chance of you trying to get his stun meter up is really, really hard to do. So because of that, I was just running that situation where I would run into, you know, like hitting with them with Sunder, and their stun meter is just not getting there, so I can't crit them. And so now I don't have to worry about crit. I can just hit them with the strongest move known to mankind, and it's like 460,000 damage, or 500,000 damage, or 800,000 damage. And because I run Ancestral, the 20% more damage if every other hit, then that means that usually when I get around to my Hammer of the Gods, it's ancestrally boosted, so it does another 20% more damage. So it will completely erase you. Like it'll hit you for 1 million, and then it may Aftershock and hit you for 1 million, and then Aftershock again and hit you for, like, it's crazy. Like it gets a little ridiculous, and I'm not sure if that's a bug. It might be a bug, but boy, does it feel good. So yeah, I mean, just looking at the damage that I'm doing to him, and as you can see, yeah, it's over, bro. It is absolutely over. So just watch here. So he has probably like 4 million health left. And my Sunder's just going. It's just going. And he's got bleeds. And then he got double hit by the Hammer of the Gods. So let's see how much damage the Hammer of the Gods did here. So he was able to summon 30, 140, 250, 350, million, and he's over. So basically, because he kept getting hit by Sunder and then he got hit with the Hammer of the Gods, it was a wrap. So he does crazy good damage now, and I'm really liking him. And now he has the roll, he has the teleport, he's really coming into his character, and that's what I really enjoy about him the most. So we're gonna do a breakdown of the jewels, the gems, everything that's happened with him so far, and kind of get into it here. So without further ado, let's get things started here. So let me go ahead and close out. That's really cool to be able to switch between different things that I have recorded, and I can just show it to you. That's really nice. So give me 1 second here. Let me just start up the game. It's been a second here. I had to, whenever I tried to start streaming earlier, what ended up happening was my network like froze. I'm not exactly sure why, but my network just kind of gave out. But it wasn't because of my internet itself. It was just because, I don't know, it just ran into some type of a buggy situation. But oh well, it's not a big deal. And oh, I'm already on Path of Exile, maybe? Hold on, let me maximize this so I can see. No, I'm not, but I am now. Alrighty, just give me a second here while this thing loads up. And I've been charging my mouse this whole time. All right, I know you can hear that. Game starting up. Give me 1 second here and we'll just switch over. I did make some changes. I moved my camera down so you can actually see. I might just move everything up, but I didn't want it to be like crushed. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I don't even know what level I am at these days. Very high, like I'm almost 100. Like it's been a lot. Okay. So let's look at the character. Alrighty, so this is my second build. Let me go to my main build. All right, a few things that happen with him. So one, he doesn't have enough intelligence on his main attack. Oh, I'm sorry, this audio. Sound. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so a few things happen with him. He doesn't have enough intelligence to actually do teleport, which is fine on his main set. He actually has it whenever he starts to block. When he blocks, his intelligence goes up to 144, and now he has the ability to block, but you noticed his block chance is crazy low. This is by design. So the reason why it is by design is because Ray's shield literally says, and I know that it's going in and out, that's not me, the game just does that sometimes. Raise your shield to block all incoming blockable hits. Blocking too much damage while your shield is raised may stagger you. Think about that. What it's saying is, because we run this shield here, right? I'm sorry, let me go here. Because we run Feathered Fortress Crescent Targe, no movement speed penalty when shield is raised, we fight. Like for example, we'll fight and then we'll teleport out, but we hold this to do our teleport. So we can move just fine. So we move with our shield up. So because we move with our shield up, there's no need to have block chance because you have an automatic block. So you 100% block all shots that are blockable when you have your shield up anyway. So we don't really run into this problem. I think this Crescent Targe is one of the best shields in the entire game. It just doesn't get a whole lot of respect, but it's really, really, really good because no movement speed penalty. And if you use it with a set that doesn't require damage, like my second skill or weapon swap isn't a damage dealing weapon swap. It is a weapon swap for teleport. It is a weapon swap for Herald of Ice. It is a weapon swap for shield. So I block Herald of Ice and weapon swap with the teleport. So that's what it's for. And because of that, it fits perfectly with our build, and it's super cheap. It is like 1 Exalt, like it's dumb cheap. And so you can get things like, you know, double slots. So because my lightning kind of goes to crap whenever I switch off, but this is actually pretty good because it's only like 8% off, so like 16% more damage. But it doesn't matter because you're not going to take that hit anyway. You know, you're trying to get away from somebody whenever you have your shield up. You're not trying to get close. And if I try to get close, I'll just switch back, and then my lightning goes back to normal. You know what I mean? It goes back to where it is. So that is the first thing that I did, is I literally made it so that all of my intelligence is packed into my second ability instead of my first one, because my first one doesn't need as much intelligence. That helped out a lot. Secondly is, I know people have been talking about this and I wanted to talk about it as well, but I was too sick. But the Polk-Circan, whatever it's called, the Sapphire Ring, enemies shielded by your hits can be shattered as though frozen. And also running it with my Stampede having Cold Infusion. So basically, I run Stampede with Cold Infusion so that I'm actually dealing cold damage, which basically creates a chill. And the chill means that they can be shattered as if they were frozen. If you come down to Herald of Ice, well, Herald of Ice says, while active, shattering an enemy with an attack hit will cause an icy explosion that does attack damage to surrounding enemies. And so basically 100% of your physical damage is converted to cold. And so I was using this because I was like, okay, that's really cool because it converts all your physical damage to cold and you don't have to do anything, and it gives you a nice pop. The same pop that you would have gotten if you had Armor Explosion and was working properly, you get that for Herald of Ice and it's bigger. So, you know, I don't think it's going to be around for very long because when everybody was talking about it, they said it wasn't going to be around for very long, but that's currently what I have. And it's not that I don't have its backup. Its backup is actually in my inventory. It makes me much stronger. It's basically, I run this when I don't. Once this gets nerfed to the floor, I'll just switch back to what I had, which was, I think, was it this one? Oh, no, it's this ring that has 38 intelligence, cold, and lightning. And then I had these boots here that gave strength, cold, lightning, and 35% increased movement speed with fire resistance. So basically I'll just switch back to my normal boots and everything will be fine. So it's just that this build here made it so that I can run this circling so that now whenever I do my Stampede, I generate cold. And now with cold, I can chill and then explode. So that's a really cool tech, and it doesn't require much of you. You know, it requires, you know, you having to fix your elemental resistances, but that's about it. those are the main two things that I changed. Everything else is kind of the same. My shield is the same. I haven't messed with it. I go back and forth on the series sustain. Basically, when I run into situations where I need more or need another socket or something like that, like I have two different ones. I have one for a socket that gave me an extra socket, that one that, you know, had, you know, 22%. You know, I run a few of them because they're really cheap. Obviously I can't change Warrior Invictus. It is what it is at this point. I've accepted it. I like this pendant. So basically this is like your poor man's Astromantis, because Astromantis gives you like, you know, 80 to 100 of all stats, and I can't afford an Astromantis. I'm not balling like that, and I don't run with anybody. I play solo. So because of that, I don't have, you know, something that has that ability. But this guy is really sweet because it gives you 20 to all attributes, but then it also gives you 14 to intelligence and 27 to strength with +3 to all melee skills, which is really, really good. And then a 30% increase in my maximum energy shield, which is also great. So then I allocated Lay Siege, and Lay Siege is over here. As you can see there, I've made a huge amount of changes because I don't have anything over here anymore, because there's a lot to talk about and we'll get to it in a second, but I did make some changes and I'll talk about it here one quick second. And so that was my amulet. And then my ring, I've never changed this ring and I never will, but it has all attributes, strength, and chaos resistance. It also does physical damage. It also has lightning damage, so I don't know if I'll actually use that in the future. I might. But, and then, you know, Poke Cyclin gives you 32% cold damage. My weapon here gives me attack speed, 25% increases attack speed, which means that I don't have to put points in attack speed anymore, which was great. And so then I doubled it up, and then I went with a pair of gloves that also gave attack speed. Now I didn't have to worry about attack speed at all because all my attack speed I got in my gear. So then I just took all my points away and then put it to elsewhere. That way I could deal more damage, because it was nice that I had so much AoE and all that kind of stuff, but I hit bosses like a baby. Like I would just, like it wasn't doing a lot of damage, bro. Like it was driving me crazy. And then you look at everybody else one-shotting bosses, and I was just like, I clearly can't do that. Like I do 500k, like at best. I have to wait to me to break their stamina. I have to wait for me to break their stun in order for me to deal all the good damage with Sunder. So because of that, I moved everything off of Sunder, put it on Hammer of the Gods, and now I'm seeing way better results. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and talk about the gems. Let's get it out the way because the tree just is a lot. So for the gems for Mace Strike, I still use Mace Strike, but I don't use it as often. But it holds Overpower, it holds Close Combat, it holds Rage, it holds Culling Strike, and it holds Ruthless. And, you know, I mean, Mace Strike is pretty good. I just don't use it very often. I need more. Now, my Hammer of the Gods is like cracked at this point. So Hammer of the Gods, I found a perfect Jeweler's Orb. And so I put it on Hammer of the Gods and just made my own instead of trying to buy it from somebody else. Like I just already had a perfect Jeweler's Orb, and then I also had the one below it, the Great Jeweler's Orb, whatever it's called. I had both of them, so I was able to make one myself. So I just did, and now I have a Hammer of the Gods that is level 20 max with max quality. And then also, you know, because it has max quality, it increases the cooldown. So it has a 20% increased cooldown recovery rate. So you don't have to run Ingenuity on your Hammer of the Gods when you have this. You can still run it, don't get me wrong. It's just that I prefer it like this. And so now I put Heavy Swing on it. So 35% more melee physical damage as a cost of attack speed. We need this. We're actually too fast when it comes to Hammer of the Gods. It comes out a little faster than I'm comfortable with. And then Heft for more maximum physical damage. And then I run Brutality, of course, for 35% more physical damage. I basically gave everything that Sunder had over to Hammer of the Gods. Aftershock. Aftershock is how I kill bosses. And so Aftershock basically gives you a chance to actually create an Aftershock. You already had one going into the tree, but now my Aftershock chance is 45%, which means that throughout the course of a fight, more often than not, once or twice or even 3 times, I may hit him twice with my Aftershock, and it may deal more damage. That's what happened to Trial Master just a second ago when I murdered him. So I basically just hit him with that Hammer of the Gods, and the Hammer of the Gods had that Aftershock, plus it usually has the what's it called, ancient, you know, 20% more damage. It's what it's called, Ancestral Empowerment, ancestrally boosted. So it was probably also ancestrally boosted, and now it deals even more damage. So basically when you look at this guy, it has an Aftershock chance of 45%. And if you look at his damage, it's anywhere between 450k to 794k. So basically, let's say we'll split the difference and call it like 680 to 700,000. So that's pretty much what I see when I hit somebody with it. It does a ton of damage. Now it doesn't do anything else, but it can't do anything else because it runs brutality. But it does 700,000 damage, and then on top of that, if it's ancestrally boosted, that is another 20% on top of that. So that's 840,000 damage, up to 1 million, somewhere in that area. And then on top of that, it has a chance to proc again. So that's like 2 million damage that is coming, that is hitting your health. On top of that, I'm hitting them with Sunder too. So that's how I hit them for like 3 million every single pop. Every time I try to get one together, I can hit them for like 3 million sometimes. Sometimes it may hit for 2, sometimes it may hit for 3, but somewhere in that area. That's where all my points come from. And my cooldown is 20 seconds. I'm okay with this. I can run Ingenuity to try to lower it, but I would rather deal more damage. You know what I mean? I'd rather end somebody quickly than have it drawn out because my cooldown is on Hammer of the Gods. And so that is pretty much everything that happened with Hammer of the Gods. It doesn't have a whole lot of chill or anything like that. It's just straight damage. Stampede, my Stampede is also really strong. I made sure that, you know, I have 5 sockets for it and all that kind of stuff. It's leveled up. It's not leveled up as much as Hammer of the Gods, but it's still pretty strong. I run Armor Explosion. I run Devastate because it's the only one that I have that runs Devastate, which is why I was trying to hit him with Stampede, because I don't have points in the tree that make it so that I can still consume armor without Devastate. He runs Cold Infusion, which we talked about a second ago. He runs Ice Bite. Attacks gain 35% of damage as cold damage for 3 seconds on freezing an enemy with supported skills. And I don't know if this is good or not. I'm still trying to debate it. Whenever I look at it, it doesn't add anything to it. I think this isn't the one I was trying to do. I think Ice Bite is one of them. Okay, Cold Penetration. Cold Penetration is the one I do want because it basically says you penetrate 30% cold resistance. That means that whenever you do explode them, it's 60% more damage because they're basically, you're nerfing the resistance to cold. So that basically doubles the amount of damage they take, which is 60% damage. So they take a lot more damage from your Herald of Ice. And I'm not sure if I want to give it 3, but I was kind of running out of options. Obviously, I would swap out Ice Bite with Momentum because Momentum, it deals damage on that hit, that slam, but its Aftershock is also imbued with the Overpower as well because it's just a mirror of the slam. So it does make that hit harder, but it doesn't make the explosion from Herald of Ice hit harder. So that's the reason why I took off Momentum, but Momentum would be what I would swap that out with. Sunder is the same as the others. I've basically tried to do everything I can with it. It is a corrupted one because quality doesn't really matter too much for me on this. It may matter for you though, please bear that in mind, because its quality actually gives accuracy. And I didn't really need that because I have a lot of accuracy. So basically, if you look at, I do have quality. I don't know why it doesn't show it anymore, but basically its quality says at long range, it generates accuracy, but that doesn't really matter to me because I'm very, I can show it to you. So yeah, my Aftershock chance and my accuracy is 1844. So I don't really need it to have accuracy. So I was okay with it being corrupted. It runs Fire Infusion. I have Tremors on it, which was make it so that it can hit multiple times because it can be multiple bleeds, multiple ignites. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on there because sometimes it runs for like way too long. Without it, it goes up to 54k. With it, it's at 35. So it's kind of like running Upheaval on Sunder all over again. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it'll hit you like 8 times. Like if you're not careful, it will just smoke you. So I do like that, and it can keep a dot on a boss, which is what I want. And my dot is going to be Lacerate with a 50% chance to inflict bleeding. I'm not running any magnitude of bleeding in the tree, but I think when I have some more points, I probably will because it's kind of easy to get to. Also, super critical, of course, and then Martial Tempo for the speed. So now my Sunder comes off really fast. So everything on him is pretty quick now. So nothing is really slowing him down, which is what I really like. He doesn't feel clunky at all. He's like, let's go at this point. And those are my main abilities. We'll talk about the little ones real quick. I'll just go over it. For Seismic Cry, I'm running Dazing Cry, Corrupting Cry, and Raging Cry. I don't really need Raging Cry because I generate a pretty good amount of rage, and the only time I use Seismic Cry is when their armor is broken. Otherwise, I don't use it. I used to have Infernal Cry, but I don't use it. I would rather have Herald of Ice at this point. If I lose Herald of Ice, I would probably go back to Infernal Cry or maybe Grim Feast. Grim Feast is cool too. Here's the thing about Grim Feast. Grim Feast is great if you want to keep moving and keeping your actual energy shield up. But here's the thing, you know what also keeps your energy shield up? That. Just getting out of the way, holding up your shield and getting back. And just getting some space between you and the enemy, that gets your shield up too. So, you know, because you can do this and then you can do that and to stay away from people, that is just as good. So I just found that for me, even though Grim Feast is really cool, it's way easier just to get the hell out of there. Like, bro, like if I'm fighting and I run into a situation that I don't want to be in, I just get out of the way. Like, what are we doing? Like, you're super, super mobile right now. Like, if you don't want to be in a fight, bro, just get out and back out. And if your energy shield is gone, then just get back and let it heal and then go back into the fight. Like, there's no point. Like, it's cool to have Grim Feast, though, because it keeps it up. But, you know, I don't think that it's better than Herald of Ice the way it is now. But once they nerf Herald of Ice, then it may be better. But I still like the way he is right now. You know what I mean? But, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to praise you. But yeah, that's what Seismic Cry has. Shield Charge, no one cares. Second wind is basically all I really needed. Time of Need has all my stuff on it, so that's gonna have your precision, your fast forward, your cannibalism, your vitality. And the reason why is because I just moved everything here because I need them, because it helps me keep my health up because I don't have any regeneration. Like my character doesn't have regeneration at all. It's like pennies. And then what's next after that? Oh, Shield Wall. Shield Wall has Fortress because you can put it around a boss so it can deal more damage to the boss. But I mean, I don't know if I really need Fortress, but it's okay. And then Font of Blood and Font of Rage. So Font of Rage to give rage when you're close to it, and Font of Blood because it also generates health for everybody. So I'll put it around the boss, or I'll just stand next to it and get my rage up. So, you know, in downtime, it's really, really good. And Herald of Ice. For Herald of Ice, I'm running supporting skills have a 40% more area of effect, long shot, and then cold mastery for an up level to supported cold spells. Now, is there something I do want to talk about? Yeah, obviously. The fact that it's showing on, even though I'm not on the weapon skill 2, it's still showing on. This is definitely a bug. But at the same time, they'll change it and it'll go back to where it needs to be because it's supposed to be only on shield on part 2, but I don't know how they're gonna fix that. Whenever they fix it, I'll be ready. So it's not like it's that big of a deal, but yeah, that's one thing. So I'm not sure. They may just go that way and just fix it that way, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Blink is just blink. It has mobility, it has ingenuity, and it has energy barrier in case somebody tries to stun me while I'm trying to blink. It'll just go ahead and give you my energy shield back, or at least recharge it instantly. So there's that. And yeah, those are my skills. So let's go ahead and go into the tree. The tree is crazy fancy now. Alrighty, so let's just talk with weapon skill 1. So weapon skill 1 is my damaging set. So I have the Swift Claw here for the 75% increased damage. I also have offensive stance here for the 1% chance to block. And you're wondering, like, how do I have that there? So the reason why I have that is because I have this gem now that's basically a what's it called? Megalomaniac Diamond. And basically it allocates finesse and allocates offensive stance. So offensive stance is way up here. So now I don't have to climb the tree from it. So now I don't have to spend any points in these crappy block chance nodes. Well, they're not crappy. They're pretty good. It's just that, you know, I don't have to lower my global defenses anymore. It's not necessary. I could just, you know, take a jewel socket and now I have it and I don't have to worry about it. And then finesse is over here and it's right here. Finesse says 10% increased accuracy rating, gain accuracy rating equal to your intelligence. That's what happened with that. So now I had a whole lot of accuracy because I gave accuracy, because my intelligence was high. My intelligence was over 100. And so now I gained more accuracy because of it. And that really helped me out. So now I didn't have to worry about accuracy points no more because I got finesse from that. This guy is really hard to get. Like, to search for Megalomaniac or just anything when it comes to Path of Exile training, it's very, very hard to do. But basically I just kept looking for it and I just put a price, and that price is what helped me get there. So basically I said from anything from like 1 divine to like 3 divine. And that's what made me find it because I couldn't find it any other way. But yeah, so that gives me allocates finesse. So now I don't have to go, I'm sorry, not finesse, but offensive stance. So now I don't have to go up the tree. And then this is all my energy shield. So basically instead of putting points in armor, So most people put points in armor down here and here and here. There's just armor everywhere on your tree, but armor kind of sucks. And I prefer to have an energy shield because I tell you what, if I had armor points instead of energy shield and my energy shield was low, that shot would have killed me. And so now I don't have to worry about that because this right here gives me enough energy shield to do everything I want. And this gives me the energy recharge rate to recharge my energy shield. So I don't have a whole lot of health regen, but I got a whole lot of energy shield regen. So that's kind of how I run him. So all of my armor and, you know, making me kind of tanky is right here. And that gave me, you know, 600%, 600 energy recharge per second, as well as 2,500 energy shield. I used to have over 3,000. I've lost a bit, because I've taken off a few things. Like for example, I had, where is it at? It's somewhere around here. But essentially it's like a 28% to maximum energy shield. It's like a 40% to maximum energy shield and a 10% reduced max mana. I ran that for a while. And because of that, I had a really high energy shield, but now I don't think I need it. I think 2,500 is kind of the sweet spot for me because it allows me to use my energy shield and I can tank a giant hit like that 5,000 hit and still be okay. So I think 2,500 is kind of your sweet spot. You have a 1,500 health buffer in case anything was to go wrong. But yeah, that's essentially where I run on that. And then this right here, I run the control metamorphosis medium large. I just upgraded this to this one here because it only does -12 to elemental resistance and -7. Plus, it's corrupted with corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you, which I need because I kill Trial Master, right? And he does corrupted blood. So that's the reason why I have this here, and it's cool. It's really nice. I really like it a lot. And now I don't have to use a jewel for it. That made the way for me to put Megalomaniac here. And then also I run block chance, global physical damage, gain 1 rage when hit by enemy, and then 22% increased stun buildup. This is just a placeholder. I'm gonna spend another divine and get a second one of these, which is 7% increased block chance, 50% global physical damage, Warcry speed, and gain 1 rage on melee hit. I had 2, but I tried to corrupt it like an idiot and it turned into some trash. And because it turned into trash, I can't use it anymore. So this is just here as a placeholder, but I'll have a second one of those. And these are kind of expensive. They're 1 divine each, but you know, if you hunt Trial Master, I mean, you can probably afford it. So it's one of those things. Or if you do the trial bout fight over and over and over again and just don't fight the boss at all, you can also afford it. So either way. But yeah, I like this jewel. It's just that I'm gonna replace it. And then for my offense, I basically have points in attack, area of attack. I basically filled out this tree for a few reasons. One, I have this gem here. It gives fire, fire, and fire. That's pretty much all it does. So it's corrupted with fire resistance. Small passive nodes also give fire and then grant 1% increased maximum life. I needed this because I was low on fire. Like I was crazy low on fire. Like if you look at my fire right now, it's at 100. So that lets you know how low it is because you got to look at it, right? This thing right here gives me, it starts off with 9, right? And then it gives me 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. So it gives me 36% fire resistance just from this alone. And that is what set me off and allowed me to do everything else that I'm doing. Now, lightning would have worked as well, but I was really hurting on fire, like really, really hurting on fire. So that's the reason why I did that. So now, you know, it takes care of my fire situation and I also get the max life. This allowed me to spec out of this because I was running this for forever. And now I completely spec'd out of it, so I don't have to run it anymore. So now, you know, because this right here gives you the same amount of life, right? It gives you, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this gives me 8% increased life plus 3, so 11. So I have 11% increased life for 15. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I only need, like, because we're only talking about maybe 100 to 200 health at that point. That's not that big of a deal. So I would rather, as long as I'm over 4,000, I'm good. And then I make sure that my energy shield is as high as humanly possible. That's just defense. Offense is a whole totally different story. So offense here, I have AoE. I have this right here, even though I know that this is a 5% reduced in attack speed. That's the reason why I went away from everything over here. I can't stand being over here because this right here, okay, cool. It's increased damage, increased damage, increased damage, increased damage. But this is a 40% increase in damage for a 5% reduced attack speed. I wanted to do addition by subtraction. I don't like losing my speed if I don't have to. So because of that, I basically took all of these points away and then gave it over here, because this gives me a good amount of damage, though it's not exactly as good as all of these points, but it only costs you 3. You still got 4 more points to put elsewhere, which you can put over here, so on and so forth. So that's the reason why I got rid of that. And then once I put Lay Siege on my pendant, I didn't have to come over here for this either. So I erased everything over here. Even though there's attack speed, I now have attack speed in my weapon and my gloves, so I don't need to run this anymore. If you look at your character, he gains 14 from his gloves and 27 from his weapon. So that's 27%, 37, 41% attack speed. And you look at, you know, this right here, this is what, 4, 8, 12, 18. This is 18% increased attack speed, and this is like 15. So this is 4, 7, 12. So it's 12%. So this is 12 and this is 18. And so even if you had them together, that's 30%, but you're at 40 something. So it's just, it doesn't seem like it's necessary anymore. He needs the attack speed, true, but at the same time, removing the things that were killing his attack speed is giving him attack speed. Does that make sense? So because I wasn't running 5% reduced attack speed, I gained 5% attack speed. And now he's really good without having to put points into attack speed, which is what I really like. And then I also went for Rage. I've always wanted to go for Rage. I didn't want to get anybody the wrong impression that I didn't like Rage. It's just that I didn't have the points for it, and everything else was better at the time, because Rage needs a little bit more investment. I have Rage, and then a 25% slower, and then I was using my fortress, my wall, for Rage buildup. But now I also gain Rage on melee hit plus this, so every hit is 4 melee hit, and then I'm also going to get one that is when I am hit. I think I already bought it though. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me make sure. I think it was that one, but that's the one that I broke. Okay, yeah. So this one here is the one that I was talking about, but I broke it. So I tried to corrupt it, which was stupid, but basically it had block chance to ignite, global physical damage, and then it also had a 3 rage on hit or somewhere along those lines. And I was trying to corrupt it to see if I can get lightning resistance, and that was just dumb. So in doing so, I broke it, and so it's not as good as it was before. But yeah, so I run a lot of rage, and so just from hitting things makes me generate a lot of rage. And then I also have a pretty high block chance. This is by design, obviously, because I run Lay Siege and I run offensive stance up here. That is 75% increased damage. Between both of them, it's 150%. And so you obviously want to get as much damage as humanly possible from there. So as long as you're around like the 70%, you kind of get maximum amount of increased damage that you possibly can from Lay Siege and offensive stance. And so that's where a bulk of my damage is actually coming from, is the fact that my block chance is so high on my primary weapon skill. And area of effect over here, area of effect over here, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and aftershock, and then aftershock, but most people run that, so it's nothing too out of the ordinary. I needed to get my stun threshold high, and I needed to get the strength, so I went ahead and spec'd into this because I wanted the life and I wanted the stun threshold, because people were stunning me way too easily. And it's not really a problem anymore. Like, you can be stunned, because nobody's going to hit you for 5,000 health unless you're fighting a boss, right? But generally, you don't run into that situation. And then I also put some points here for some melee damage, increased melee damage, because I needed the points. And then this is area of effect some more. And so I had a couple points that were available, and I decided to put it there. Could I put it somewhere else? Sure. Ideally, you could put it in Ignite, which is like right up here. Ignite, and then a 25% increased magnitude of ignite you inflict plus 10 strength, which is really nice. Basically, I might actually do that, because I can just take some points from here, and then put it in here, and then it makes it so that my Sunder, whenever it does ignite, it will deal a lot of damage, a lot more damage than it currently does, which is pretty cool. And this is 22, 44, 66% plus 10. Which is what I had, but I don't have it anymore. But I got 10 from the tree, so I was sitting at like 76% chance to ignite on a Sunder that hits like 87 times. So it was really nice, bro. Like, it's really nice. So that's the reason why, because I like dotting down bosses when I don't have my Hammer of the Gods when it's on cooldown. And I think that is it offensively. Everything else is kind of the same. Oh, also, because I've put points out of health, I actually go here for the slam skills, but I've always had that because most people have that. It's just that last 2 points, they usually put it in health. But we don't have to do that anymore because we have our health from the tree. So now I put it in ancestral empowerment. Every second slam you use is ancestrally boosted. This helps you a couple of different ways. So generally, people want to put the ancestral boost, the gem, on their Hammer of the Gods. There's no point in that anymore. So basically, if you're getting ready to fight a boss, right? Mine is already ancestrally boosted, but let's say I didn't have it, right? If I'm getting ready to fight a boss, all I got to do is like sunder a tree, and now I have it. You know what I mean? Like this, it's not hard. And you're trying to like one-shot the boss. All you have to do is just do a skill. That's ancestrally boosted. That one's not. So that means my next hit is ancestrally boosted. It's really straightforward. And so I don't really have to run anything that actually increases my, the ancestral, there's a gem that does it for you, but I don't have to run that anymore. We'll just type in ancest, ANC, I don't know the rest of it. Fist of War. So you don't have to run Fist of War anymore because you don't need to. All you have to do is just every other slam, just make sure that whenever you get ready to fight the boss, the red is on Hammer of the Gods. And there you go. Very simple. So now I don't have to run Fist of War anymore. And so now I deal even more damage with my Hammer of the Gods. And that is it for weapon skill 1. Whew. Okay, weapon skill 2. So weapon skill 2 does a few things for me. 1, it holds my Herald of Ice. And so because it has more intelligence, I gave it more intelligence on purpose. So 1, for teleport, obviously I teleport with my shield up. So if you're running this build, you're gonna want to have Crescent Charge because it makes it so that you can move around. This is normal for me. I do this to block damage. I do this to get out of stuff. I do this when I get overran. I do this all the time. Teleport. If I can't get out of the way, I can't roll out of the way, teleport. I do this all the time. And all of its abilities that he uses on this side is intelligence based, but Herald of Ice requires a martial weapon. So I can't use like a staff or a scepter or something like that. I have to use a martial weapon because Herald of Ice uses a martial weapon. So I have to use a mace. So I can't actually get any intelligence from that. So I had to go to the tree. So basically I came over here for it. Intelligence, intelligence, intelligence. And then over here, 10% increased damage, 10% increased critical hit chance, and then fighter strength and intelligence. And then really, I was trying to just get here. 20% increased life regeneration rate and 5% of damage taken recouped this life. This is very good for a defensive weapon skill swap. And then this one here is regenerates life per 0.3 per second per life. And then over here, I got Sun Threshold, and then Global Defenses is Sun Threshold, which is a little different from over here where I lost my Global Defenses. Here, I gained it right back. So as soon as I put up my shield, I gain Global Defenses and Sun Threshold. However, he also has, you know, a very, very low block chance, but it doesn't matter because when I'm on my weapon skill, I have my shield up all the time. Every time I swap skills or I swap to my second set, my shield is always up. There is never a time that I switch to my second skill and my shield is down. If it's down, it's because I'm getting ready to attack. And if I'm getting ready to attack, I'm already back on 1. So whenever I'm like this, I'm always blocking. So your block chance doesn't matter here. You don't need the damage from lay siege and offensive stance. You just need to be able to block. And I can block all hits that are blockable when I have my shield raised. And that's how I use my shield now. I don't care about block chance anymore because my shield's already raised. That's what's so good about Crescent Targe. You can go for another shield. 1, it will make you slow in this build because now you're moving slow because you don't have Crescent Targe. And 2, you have to have a high block chance to be able to block. Otherwise, you're a sitting duck because you're so slow because you have your shield up. Does that make sense? So Crescent Targe helps you in multiple ways by making you mobile, and it gives you the ability to teleport. And it also has stat points, which you need, strength and dexterity. So it helps you in so many different ways. It's just not explicitly stated, because if I can move around with my shield up, my block chance is already 100% because my shield is up. And that's what's so good about Crescent Targe. It is so good. please pick this up if you are watching this build or any other reason. It is the greatest shield known to mankind. Like, I really love it. And yeah, and that's pretty much how I feel about Crescent Targe. And yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everything that I have going on right now and all the changes that I made in my tree, as well as, I mean, everybody runs Hulking Form, so there's nothing to really talk about there. But yeah, that's what happened with my character, and that's kind of where he is right now. And he can blast through just about anything, but we'll go ahead and see if we can fight a Trial Master. What time is it? How long am I streaming? An hour and 34 minutes. Okay, I think I'm doing good. So we'll just go ahead and try to fight a Trial Master. I think I have enough exalts, maybe. I don't know. I don't really keep a lot on me because I don't really need to. I just spent it on my character. But now he's really good. I mean, he's really, really, really good. Like, I mean, you run Megalomaniac, bro. Like, he's pretty good. The only thing that he could use that would make him better is things like Ingenuity and Astromantis. But the same can be said for everybody's build because nobody can afford it. I'm not balling like that, so oh well. So just to kind of give you an idea of how he plays, true, I could have read a map, and I normally do run maps whenever we're doing this. I'm just doing it this way because I want to fight the Trial Master. All right. I have been running this escalated damage taken because I don't really care. All right, so we'll just burn through this here. Let me turn the audio up just a tad. So your explosion is very good. Went the wrong way. Ow. Pop him. See how fast he is? I don't think the game wanted you to be this fast. You're alive? Oh, there's more people. I was like, okay, somebody's a superhero at this point. Is this the... Yes, it is. His movement is so good right now, and I've gotten so strong at him, just moving around and how I play him. He's so good. I probably should pick something harder, but we're trying to get to the Trial Master. We're not really trying to. We're just trying to burn through this. And so basically, what I've been doing. So, okay, did everybody start doing the you know the guide for the ultimatum? Sure. And did it lower the price of everything? Sure. But then whenever that happened, I basically stopped doing that run and I just started fighting Trial Master. So I was making my money that way because nobody was actually fighting the boss. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do this. So that's essentially what happened. And I've been fighting the boss ever since. So now I have him on farm. He can't really kill me unless I'm being like stupid with something. So I do that. And now I keep my rage up while we're waiting because they don't come out to 115. So, you know. Yeah, no. That was a pretty good shot that was gonna hit him. You have 50% aftershock chance with Stampede when aftershock is on your God of the Hammer of the Gods. You can have that. Oh, he's another one. Sunder still doesn't play. I can still use Sunder to kill people. But a lot of times I don't usually yell at it though. I don't do a shout. I just kill them. You don't have to do this because I don't think anybody's all that strong, but I just do it sometimes.
You won't escape.
Huzzah. You and you. Let's see what that is. Everything else is trash. Oh, amethyst ring. I'm sorry. I'm almost at the wrong thing. Okay, let's see what you are. Ugh. How depressing. So I do pick up maces just to see what they are. and then just put them back when they aren't melee level skill or just like a really high global physical stuff like that.
Don't give up so early.
Skill speed.
Races through your bones.
All right, burn through this.
Follow the path.
Kill that. Kill that. Sometimes you don't really want to take that hit from him, depending on what you've done to your character in this game. Sometimes you can do like, 75% loss of defense, in which case you'll take that to your health and he'll kill you. Yeah, they made that change where it doesn't, like, whenever you say 40% less defense, it also applies to your energy shield. So now your energy shield is like 800 and you don't want to take that hit from him. He'll kill you. Always clear this out first. And then I usually walk with my shield up in case I have Ruin. And so that guy can, but here's the thing, Ruin will still hit you. Which is, I found out the hard way. Even with your shield up, he'll still hit you sometimes. Which is really annoying, but it is what it is. All right. Now, I do know that the Sunder situation hit multiple times as a bug, but as soon as they come off of that or they fix it, I'll just swap off. I just have it on there just to have it. It's not that big a deal. Ooh, no. Oh, it's out to the door. Hold on. So I used to just run right through that ice, but there was a situation that I ran into where I had lower elemental resistances and that ice one-shot me. So now I don't do it anymore. It one-shot through it. Okay, I was in the middle of two different ices that were exploding at the same time, and that's what killed me. So it's very hard to kill me, but it can happen. Like, it's very hard to kill him, like very hard. But when he can just like teleport and then just hold up his shield and get all his health back, it's really hard to kill him.
This is just a war.
Topatane. Oh, okay, get the bird out the way. That's fine. Oh, okay.
Prove your might.
Flee before me!
Magnificent beast.
So yeah, he's dead. Usually I just one-shot him, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes you don't get lucky like that. Let me see what it turns into. Nah, forget it. It's too much work. It needs fizz, attack speed, and melee. Like, bro, you're not getting that. Just let it go.
You may possess strength, lightning, descent.
I don't even let him talk no more. I just burn through it. Don't teleport that because you might fall.
Hold your ground, if you can.
I do like the pop of Herald of Ice. It's really nice. Amethyst Charm, but with no superiority. Doesn't matter. Okay. Any day now.
Heal yourself!
Sometimes I put it around their spawn, but currently I just don't care. Like, I'll do it like this, and then I'll run through it or hit them with Sunder. But I think that's a little overkill. They're not exactly that hard. Yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna do anything, bro. Ah, I should have went for the hammer, but I didn't think hammer would get out in time. Oh, that would have killed him. That thunder hit like 5 times. That would have killed him. Oh well. I don't even want to have a conversation, bro. I just want to get this fight over with.
Offer up their lives.
Okay, sure. Why not? All right. Kill all them. See, the pop is nice on it. Ideally, the way you would want to play him now is that you would basically take, what's it called? Hold on. Aftershock. You would want to take Aftershock off of Hammer of the Gods and give it to Stampede until you fight a boss. And then when you fight that boss, then you want to swap that one jewel and then fight the boss. And then put that jewel back on Stampede, because Stampede is better off with it. The good thing about running this is you find a lot of Chaos Orbs.
You won't escape.
Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I do like fighting Trial Master. It's just that sometimes you don't get anything for him, and that's really frustrating. I think he should at least, at the very least, always give you a inscribed ultimatum. That would be nice. That way you don't feel like it's always a loss, because you spend so much just to get to him, and then he doesn't give you anything. All right, do that. Nice heal.
You'll like this next one.
Lightning. So I just noticed, look down here, I don't have my ancestrally boosted Hammer of the Gods, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that to get it. And yeah, so we're good to go. Let's see if we one-shot this dragon. Nope. Goodbye. For some reason, man, I can't hit nobody with... Okay, maybe I'll hit the boss later on, but I can't hit no one with it, and it's really annoying. Like, I promise you, he can Aftershock. Like, I don't know what's happening, but no one's taking the Aftershock. The bosses just run away from it. He's like, oh, that can kill me? Okay, yeah, no, never mind. Just run away. Oh, you mean it does a lot of damage? Okay, I won't be there then. Alrighty. As you can see, I'm still sick, so I do apologize. It'd be rough out here. But at least now I can breathe and I don't feel like I'm like slowly deteriorating and fading away. I do like that the corrupted blood can trigger it, which is really nice. Like if you put it down, watch corrupted blood. It makes it attack, which is really cool.
You won't escape.
Yeah. I really do like that. That's really cool. I'm getting sleepy. Get this over with. Running this without teleport is crazy. I just remember how slow I was when I first started playing this character, and what he's turned into is crazy. He's on a totally different planet. I don't like the fact that he's taking with energy shield instead of armor, but it is what it is. Adjust to the times, as they say. Yeah, that is just so satisfying. Kill him while he's in the air. They don't even get a chance to land. I'll just pick that up. Excuse me.
You won't escape.
Alrighty. Kill them. River dance on that rune because no one cares. Whee. His movement is so good. You dead. Ooh, cultist. We'll see what that is here in a second. Let's see what we got. Trash. All that walking.
Took you long enough.
Okay, still kind of a trash option. We'll take runes. Okay, we already got our ancestral boosts. Always just check down there, just be on the safe side, and we should be good to go. I do put this around the bird.
This one hunger.
Yeah. Bye. All right. Quick and dirty. Alrighty. Get our rewards real quick. And then we can go fight the Trial Master. Bop, bop. And I'll just check through them just to make sure there isn't anything that's just, oh my god, this is so crazy. No. No. And no. I'll just grab a few things that I'll just sell. All right, we'll go grab the other two pieces. This is how I was doing it basically. So basically I was trying to get enough money so that I can buy the other two pieces that I need. And so overall, you don't really make a whole lot of money on it, but sometimes you can get really lucky. And I really wasn't looking for money. Like whether or not I have Astromantis isn't gonna determine how good I am with this character. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. So it's not that big a deal. So because of that, I don't really care. There's not a whole lot more he needs. He's good the way he is. So right there, there. Also trash. 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 Intelligence, code, lightning, and stun. Whatever, I don't care. And a jade amulet. Bye. All right, let's see if this lady is willing to sell us some stuff. Please. There we go. Salted orbs. I have this crap. 2, 4, 7, 2. There we go. And then I also have that, which isn't worth a whole lot. 3. Alrighty, grab that. That TN pays for the other guy, the head guy that you need to get in for exalts. Okay, so that's 10 for 1. Grab that, and then also grab its sibling. So now we're 30 in the hole just to get this. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't have enough. Let me see. What's how much you want in chaos? Oop, sorry, pressed the wrong button. this, and then chaos. I don't really use my chaos a whole lot, so I just kind of give them away to this because it's easier. Alrighty, got them too. Let's rock and roll. This might turn into something. Well, it's not that great. I thought it was gonna turn into something good, but it's not really great. Put that up. Make sure you get to well, because you may have lost all your flasks before you find him. Like, I've run into situations where I've gone into Trial Master and fought him, and I didn't have any flask available. So, you know, you run into those kind of situations. All right, take that because I need the gold. All right, let's go beat him up. Okay, let's hammer of the gods the wall real quick. Alrighty, we'll just run through here and hit him with everything we got in the first hit. So we're just building up our rage to get to 30% because that's 30% more damage with our Hammer of the Gods. So basically we're doing 50% more damage with Hammer of the Gods, and you saw that it hits around 700. So now it hits over 1,000,000. That's how you hit over 1,000,000 with Hammer of the Gods. All right. 1, 2, 3. Hammer of the Gods. Sunder.
Your prejudice infuriates me. Obliterated.
Keep the bleed on him. He's gonna do that. Wait for him to say ultimatum. If he wants to do that, that's fine. Waiting for that. Now I can pop up the Hammer of the Gods. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see him. Why is my thing red? Oh. Ugh. Wait for him to say it. Or not. I knew it! I knew it! I knew he was gonna do that! That was so dumb. That's... Sometimes you can get a little too cocky and try to go for the kill, the one-hit kill kind of thing. Yeah, no, bro. I like meleeing him. Really, bro? This happens a lot. Ooh! He did. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. My internet went out. So I'm not sure. Something's up with my internet. I'm gonna have to figure it out because that's absolutely ridiculous. That shouldn't happen ever. And no planet should that happen. So yeah. Yeah, so I lost internet connectivity and now Path of Exile hates me. So yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible that happened. Like, what's so crazy is that, like, how could that have happened? Like, my wired wow. Okay. Well, clearly I need to swap out my Ethernet cable or something. Or maybe I'm overutilizing my Ethernet because I don't know. I'm not sure. But the fact that that happened really irks me. So I'm gonna have to figure that situation out. So yeah. That was awful. Wow. I just lost all my money. Okay. Well, I think we'll just call it. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and call it because I mean, clearly I lost because it went out. So we'll just do it that way. Obviously he would have died. There's no way he could kill me, But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's pretty much how my tank is as of right now. And yeah, it looks like everything is down anyway. And if you like this video, I can't even say it because I'm looking at it and it's saying unexpected error, so I know nobody's seeing this. But if you like this video, go ahead and like button. If you really like it, I'm going to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care, all the best, and bye. I will see you next time. Peace.